Welcome to a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda.
Good morning. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the March 29th meeting of the Lorain County Board of Commissioners. Our word of the day is Proverbs 12:8-9. A sensible person wins admiration, but a warped mind is despised. Better to be an ordinary person with a servant than to be self-important and have no food. I'm starving. Mr. Kalo with our real dog from the kennel.
Hello there, yes. Hello. Come on.
Friendly.
Come on. Come on. Our featured dog this week is a boxer bulldog pit mix, whatever you want to call her. She's about a year old. She was an owner turn-in from Elyria, but she has like the greatest personality in the world. She's looking for a good home. When will she be available?
Saturday the 1st.
She'll be available April 1st. That's not an April Fool's joke. How many dogs we got, Tim?
We have 16.
We have 16 dogs, so our people are doing a great job, and so is the community by adopting dogs from our kennel. So
When they're owner turn-in, aren't they available automatically right away?
This was a drop-off, somebody found it as a stray.
oh, it was just a drop-off, not a turn-in.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
It wasn't a surrender.
Okay.
But
Well,
when it is a surrender, they are immediately available. Okay.
thank you, Commissioner.
There you go.
It's my thing.
My dog kennel commissioner. So stop by and she'll make a great pet for somebody's home. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Come on.
You don't want to
She's
go.
done. She's not done yet. She's very friendly. Okay. Madam Clerk,
Under Resolutions Number 1, Investments,
so moved.
Second.
Discussion, Kokoski,
Aye.
Kalo,
Aye.
Lundy.
Aye.
Appropriations,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Transfers,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
No advances, no repayments, requisitions,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Travel,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Bills,
So moved.
Second.
Discussion, Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kalo.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Under the Commissioners, authorize various personnel actions as indicated on the summary sheet for employees within jurisdiction of Lorain County Commissioners.
Mr. Cortez.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner. I do, somewhere, but not in this folder, have a personnel sheet. I have some potential new hires, Job and Family Services, possibly the Collection Center. I want to update you on ongoing labor negotiations. I have a final determination on potential sale of a piece of property and also a matter of litigation. All those topics allowable under the Sunshine Act for executive session discussions, so I'd ask at the conclusion of our regular board meeting, we go into executive session, we talk about those specific items. Thank you.
Approve and waive the reading of the minutes of March 15th and 22nd.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Authorize payment of $1,000 to Boyer and Kuhl Cool Home for Funerals, Lorain, for indigent veteran Robert J. Kurtz II, Alaria, in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 5901.25.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Support the Icebreaker Wind's application for a certificate of environmental compatibility and public need for a generating station, which is being transferred from LEEDCO to continue the work required to construct and operate the 20.7 megawatt 6 wind turbine project in Lake Erie and attract jobs and investments in Lorain County and Northwest Ohio for the offshore wind market.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, if I could, please. It's been, I don't know, probably a decade now that Lorain County's been participating in the Great Lakes Wind Organization, which then transferred and became LEEDCO, which includes all the counties along the lake shore, all the way into Erie, Pennsylvania. This is basically support. We've gone before the Power Siting Board looking for approval to move forward on the project. Again, despite the current federal administration's idea of coal, there's about 70,000 coal miners in the country, and there's about 750,000 people who work in renewable energy jobs. We're still pushing forward to be the first offshore wind in the Great Lakes in the U.S. So it's just a support letter to Power Siting Board, again, in conjunction with everyone else who's supporting to get approval to move forward. And hopefully by the end of 2018, beginning of 2019, we'll actually have turbines in Lake Erie.
Yeah, I'm very pleased that I know you've been very involved and committed to the project, and the board's been very committed long before I got here. And I know when I was in the legislature, we were trying to get in an amendment that was Senator Williams, well, now Senator Williams, Sandra Williams, and myself. And the amendment was 0.5% to come from offshore wind by, I think it was 2025.
That was the renewable portfolio
Yeah,
standards.
exactly.
Yes, I remember those well.
And we were told by the speaker that we could stand up basically until hell froze over and wouldn't be called on. And I guess I found out what it was like with hell being frozen over, because I did try to get to speak and wasn't recognized by the speaker. Neither was Representative Williams. But I think it's really important. It's really good. You know, we were always so hopeful that since this county is known for manufacturing and building so many things, that this county could play an important part in solar and building turbine components, and you know, be a part of, you know, offshore wind as well too. But since the administration has gone soft on this whole thing, it's really, I think, hurt potential jobs that Ohio could have had, just because the administration wanted to play up to, and the majority wanted to play up to the, I guess, the power companies and everybody else instead.
I remember going down there to do testimony in regards to renewable portfolio standards, and on my way down, it all got pulled. They
Yeah.
found some things that didn't quite line up right. So, but we're moving forward. We have a private developer, Fred Olson Renewables, who is handling the project. So now it's in the private sector's hand, and we're as a support mechanism from the public sector.
Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Community Development or contract to Solid Ground Construction, Inc., Westlake, in the amount of $42,289, which includes a contingency for any unforeseen change orders for Donna Rutherford at 680 Kenilworth Avenue, Sheffield Lake, for home rehab to be paid from contract services account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Job and Family award contract to South Shore Electric, Alaria, in the amount of $60,645 for telecommunications cabling systems project. 5 bids received on March 2nd, this being the most responsive, complying with specifications. Notice to proceed issued on or before April 3rd, complete on or before May 15th. Authorize administrator to notify the auditor to release retainage at completion of project.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Solid Waste, amend various resolutions to reflect the correct count numbers. Resolution 1721 adopted January 9, 2017, extension of contract with American Paint Recyclers of Middle Point, Ohio for discarded latex paint recycling services for 2017. Amendment Resolution 1722 adopted January 9, 2017, extension of contract with Liberty Tire Recycling LLC Minerva for operation of the scrap tire collection program. And Resolution 1743 adopted January 18, 2017, extension of the contract with ERG Environmental Services of Bowling Green for the fluorescent lamp collection and recycling services for 2017.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Transit, enter an agreement with WSP Parsons Brinckerhoff to perform project initiation and study management, public involvement and data collection, existing conditions analysis, technical recommendations, and implementation plan for the transit. $100,000 was received from NOACA and $2,000 was matched from the county.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
I just wanted to, thank my colleagues again for their strong support for transit. This is making it possible for us all to move forward with our planning grant that we received through NOACA, and I want to thank my colleague Ted Kalo, who was president at the time, made it possible for the grants to be restructured so that it actually was a little bit more affordable for local governments to attain. And we were quite fortunate. We went after 2 grants, and we weren't terribly optimistic that we were going to get both, but somehow we managed to get both, and that's a good thing on the lakefront component, and then also now on transit. And just looking forward to this. I think this is going to be very exciting over the next year to get the community feedback and put together a solid implementation plan for transit, and just want to thank my colleagues here on the board for the ongoing strong support and all the work that's been done to make this possible.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Under the engineer, advertise notice for Baumhart Road, Part A and B, Safety and Resurfacing Project, Brunhelm Township. Notice being in Chronicle on March 31st and April 7th, and open at 2 p.m. on April 25th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Amendment Resolution 14271 adopted April 23, 2014, approving entering a lease purchase agreement with Akron Tractor and Equipment and Kansas State Bank for the lease purchase of an off-road tractor and articulate reach boom mower for off-road ditch mowing for the county garage in the amount of $101,243. Said amendment is to reflect the account should state MVGT reimbursed by Stormwater Management District, not the ditch maintenance rotary, which is no longer available.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Under the Sheriff, approve and enter an inmate phone service agreement with Inmate Calling Solutions LLC, ICS, Texas, effective April 15, 2017 for 5 years. All inmate phones and lines will be replaced and rates will be reduced and connection fees eliminated, saving 50% to the inmates. New inmate video visitation system will be installed at no cost, saving $280,000. Commission rates to general fund will increase from 60 to 70% and offer a guarantee of $300,000 annually. Year 1, the commission will be diminished by $200,000 and money will be offered in a form of a technology grant that can be used to purchase the fully body x-ray scanner for the jail.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
This is a win-win for, I think, everybody involved. The Sheriff's Department has been asking for a body scanner for the jail for quite some time because there are, contraband being brought in body cavities. So I'm glad that's going to be at our jail now. Hopefully it'll deter people from bringing things in the first place, knowing that it could be caught. So thanks for all the hard work you guys did to put this together.
Jack and Andy really did a good job
did.
here.
Andy?
I 20 years ago, I used to negotiate against Jack when he was in the union. You understand now why I always lost a lot. but you guys did a great job, and Jack called me a few times while him and Andy were working on this and kept me up to date on it. It was really a very good proposal and a successful way of getting needed equipment that we otherwise could not afford. So thanks, guys. I really appreciate working with you all.
Yeah, I had a chance to place a call the other day and spoke with Mr. Lobenthal about the contract and told him I've seen a lot of contracts. I don't think I've seen one negotiated as good as this one. So I think right now it's one of the best negotiated contracts I've seen. We haven't told Jim yet, but you're going to negotiate all future contracts. So hate to break the news, but yeah, it looks great and job well done.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Mr. Cortez.
I have no additional comments. Just want to thank you.
Mr. Ennis.
I do have one matter of pending litigation
That's it?
for executive session.
Commissioners report.
Well, this past Thursday, we all attended our land bank meeting. We're ramping up for when the weather breaks. Might want to expound on this. I think we have already torn down about 300 houses and looking to demolish about 93 more going forward with grant money. So we're cleaning up the neighborhoods, and the neighbors always come out and are cheering us on when we go out there. So good job to our land bank and Port Authority and everybody involved in that. And we'll be out mowing lawns this summer. We have lots of lawns to mow. Regardless of whether we own them or we don't own them, I think we're mowing all of them, aren't we, Mr. Cortez?
You know, the simple answer is yes. We picked up a lot more properties that we're putting into the mix. I'm a little concerned with some of the properties that we still don't own, and I got to renew our agreements with the city to operate under the maintenance, nuisance, grass ordinances. Believe it or not, even though somebody may owe a lot of taxes on a property and have liens on it, they can still come and file a complaint for us being on their property. So the short answer is yes, and I'll make sure that we get those agreements maintained and still in place with the city, so we don't have our guys arrested while they're mowing grass. We have a case right now where somebody had an orphaned property, thought it was foreclosed on by the bank, abandoned the property. The bank held it for a couple of years, didn't complete the foreclosure, and then abandoned the foreclosure. And then the house was so bad that it was condemned, and we tore it down. And now the owner's there asking why we tore his house down. He didn't even know he owned it, and he's claiming he's traumatized. And you know, now he got an attorney that's suing everybody standing. These things are not as easy as it appears to people.
Yeah.
So, yes, we'll do our best.
Okay. Thursday evening, the Young Dems had their annual Difference Makers event. I was nominated. I did not get chosen as Difference Maker of the Year, and I just thought, where is Steve Harvey when I need him? I love Steve Harvey. Saturday, I attended an event at German Villa supporting the Monsters girls softball team. This is their third year in a row. They've had it at different places every year, but the last 2 years they had a comedian there named Jeff Blanchard, and he's from Cleveland, and he is hilarious. If you ever need a comedian, look him up. He's fantastic.
I thought that's what we had Ted for. I thought he was the joke master.
Yeah, send him back to the
Monday, I had my executive board meeting for Goodwill. I was actually supposed to roll off the board this year, but they asked me to stay on, so I'm going to continue on and as secretary of the board. Tuesday evening, the Avon Lake Democrats had an event at the old firehouse that we all attended. They presented certificates of recognition to all the county Democrat elected officials, and it was nice for all of us to get together, and actually they said thank you for, keep working hard for them, and it was just a nice event. So that is the end of my report. Other than tomorrow are my twin boys, Jordan and Joe's birthday. They're getting too old for me to tell you how old they are, because then they make me very old. So,
Well, we're doing your 50th annual birthday fundraiser now. I can remember we were doing your 40th annual for a long time.
Scary.
Wow.
My
Yeah, it was a busy week. Commissioner Kokoski covered a lot of it. But condolences, Scott Ferris, Director of Children's Services, his wife's passing, and then a dear friend of mine, former Mayor John Jaworski. He actually was one of the honorary chairman of my campaign going back to 2004. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So John was a longtime friend, mentor, one of those type of guys who, knew what bipartisan was, crossing the aisle, make things. There's a difference between politics and governing, and sometimes that doesn't cross properly, I guess. People don't understand the difference, and John really did. So, condolences to his family. A lot of people out to pay respects to him yesterday. So, end of my report.
I just wanted to commend the Pat Metzger, his whole team, our administrator Jim Cordez, and Chris Panowski, and prosecutor's office, all the amazing work that's being done on the land bank as we continue to experience great success and operate a very effective land bank here in the state of Ohio. I think 93 more homes in queue, as you said, coming up to a total of probably over 300 or close to 300 properties. So, as we always tell people, we don't want anybody's home. Just pay your taxes. But I think, as most people know, when they see the pictures of these homes that come down, they are clearly abandoned properties that don't have a future for them. But we're making neighborhoods better and getting rid of criminal activity in some cases in these houses and just making the community a much better place. Also, congratulations, Lorain County Young Dems. Even though we tried to rig the election, Lori wasn't recognized as the winner this year, but we'll work that out next year.
Rig the election? Oh, you're playing right into that national, then, aren't you? Did you have Russian dressing?
Yeah, no
your
Russian
side?
connections there. Yeah, no meetings with them either. But great event, and boy, our Lorain County Young Dems are just some of the best young people that you'll meet, and are definitely going places in this state and in this country. Condolences again to the family of former Amherst Mayor John Jaworski, and also to Scott Ferris in the recent loss of his wife. The Lakefront Lorain County group will be having our first stakeholders meeting. That's actually going to take place next Wednesday. We're excited about that, getting the process going. We'll be announcing later the beginning of the public meetings in April, late April in Vermilion, and then in the beginning of May in Sheffield Lake, and then Avon Lake and Lorain dates are yet to be determined. But this is the exciting part. This is where we get to meet with the community, get feedback from residents on what they'd like to see with their lakefront. Congratulations, the Avon Lake Dems. Very nice to get together last night, their recognition event, and it was nice to be in the room with so many leaders in the community and people who are involved. Sometimes people think it's all about politics, but it's about people who are trying to make the community better, and that requires people working together to get things done. And that was a nice event. And speaking of working together, we've been working closely with our townships on stormwater issues and stormwater management and SWAC, which I think has been a very which is a good model, I think, of how we can all collaborate to make things better. And we've got our big stormwater management meeting taking place this evening over there in New Russia, and looking forward to that. And that completes my report.
Tuesday, April 4th at 9:30 will be our Pheasant Run sewer hearing. Board correspondence?
I move the reading be waived.
Second.
Discussion. Ms. Kowski?
Aye.
Mr. Kayla?
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
Public comment?
Anybody from the audience wishing to come on up? Just state your name and address for the record, even though we know who you are.
Mark Holman, 1034 Rome Beauty Drive, Amherst. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'd like to start with just saying thank you for what you folks do. Your efforts and your service make a contribution to those of us who live here in Lorain County, and I just want to acknowledge that. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
And then I'm just touching base, checking in to inquire about the status of the efforts to increase public transportation here in Lorain County. I don't know if that's something you can speak to, but just
We just approved entering an agreement with Parsons Brinkerhoff to start the study.
That's the first step.
That's the first step.
very good. So it sounds like I can rest assured that it's still something that's important.
Absolutely.
Oh, without a
Always
doubt.
will be.
Yeah, transit's very important. It's just a matter of funding, Mark, as you know. You
I
served
do,
long
I
enough
do.
in public service. It comes down to funding.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that that continues to be of importance. That's something, of course, that's important to myself and to move.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll be hearing more about it, in the months ahead. It's just, we're just kind of getting started now that we've approved the contract, but, it's a $100,000 planning grant, and, there's a lot involved with the process, but I think the board's has always been strongly committed to transit. I think as Commissioner Kalo pointed out, trying to identify the revenue stream is always the challenge. And we certainly didn't get any help in the last transportation bill from the state. Another job well done with their lack of commitment to transit. So as I said, that kind of leaves a lot of communities on their own to try to address the issue. But I think this will be an important part of really getting that community feedback that's needed, and then going forward from there.
Well, that's exciting. I'm happy
Yep.
to hear about those sentiments. And then also I want to mention that moves in this for the long haul, and anything that Move can do to help, I'm sure that you can count on their help.
Okay,
Thank you.
sounds good. Yeah, I wanted to thank you saw the recent story where you were providing the free tax help to seniors and residents of the community. That was very nice of you to do.
Thank you. It's a great program, and I'm happy to be involved with it. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Mark. Anybody else wishing to address the board this morning? No, see none. I move that we go into executive session as outlined by the administrator and assistant county prosecutor.
Second.
Ms. Kowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kayla.
Aye.
Mr. Lundy.
Aye.
This has been a broadcast of the recent Lorain County Commissioners' General Meeting. Unless otherwise announced, meetings are held Wednesday morning at 9:30 at the Administration Building, 226 Middle Avenue, 4th floor, downtown Elyria. These are public meetings, and you are invited to attend. Agendas are posted prior to the meeting at www.loraincounty.us. Click on Departments to see the Commissioners page, then click on View Agenda for a printable copy of the agenda.